Good evening, everybody. We're going to get started. Welcome. I am Jill Wheelock, and I am the principal here at our wonderful school. Thank you all for coming. We are so excited about our newly renovated Cohasset Elementary, and we just want to thank the community because we couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you so much. Staff and myself are very excited for the kids to come on Tuesday. They'll get to see a new building, and we're excited to see the kids. So thank you very much. Next up is our superintendent, Matt Gross.
I tell you what, I don't know if I've met anybody that is as low maintenance and low key as our principal here, Mrs. Wheelock. So she's been rolling with the punches all summer as this project's been moving on, and just really appreciate that. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. It's a special night for sure to celebrate this new building and renovated building. I've listened to stories over the last, since I've been here and even before that, about this community and how you came together and how this project came to life, and it became clear to me just how important education is to you, just how important this school is to this community, and how important relationships are. And I just kept feeling that over and over again, and so I want you to know that that's felt, and I think even inside of the building, when I talk to the faculty and staff here, you can feel that same feeling from them. So it's a really special place. The vision for this building and the relationship with the city here that's so unique speaks to a community and a district that values education, but it also values parents, it values community, it values senior citizens. This building represents an innovative project that blends history and also blends that together with the future, and it recognizes parts of the old and our future, both from an educational programming standpoint, but also the fact that it recognizes the importance of our senior citizens in our community, as well as our toddlers and our youngsters in our future. So it's a pretty unique spot. Well, I wasn't here when the referendum passed. I know that it's really difficult for these things to happen. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of creativity and vision, and many of the groups that were here from the very, very start worked long, long hours and fought for things and campaigned, and I saw a lot of passion, and that's really impressive, and it motivates me to do my job and to keep advocating for the children in this district. I'd like to start by recognizing a few people and organizations. First, the Elementary Facilities Task Force, the Vote Yes Committee, and the design team. If there are any of you that are here, please raise your hand and wave so that we can give you a special thank you. We have a number of our staff here today. I see Lisa Lutz, and I know that she was kind of a real champion in that effort, so I want to just thank you for that. Our local legislators went to bat for us, and we have Representative Sandy Lehman here today, and so we're really grateful for her and for advocacy, championing this, and her leadership on that IRRB board to make sure that we could get what we needed to get in order to make this project a reality. So thank you. I'm really impressed and thankful for the relationship that we've embarked on with the city of Cohasset and the partnership and support that we have together. These buildings that are opening down the road in Grand Rapids, and especially this one in Cohasset, are going to serve our communities and the people in them for a long, long time. And there'll be schools that attract families to this area and be places where people want to settle down because of the great things that are happening. So to Governor Hagee and to Administrator Max Peters for your leadership and your support and the legacy you're going to leave here, I just want to thank you. You want to give a speech? Did I say governor? Yeah. Sorry. Mayor. I was just on a call with a guy, so yeah, sorry, mayor, yeah. Do you have an announcement you want to make here or something? All right. I'd also like to thank our partners at Wold and our construction partners at ICS. I've mentioned at the previous buildings, you get one chance at a building like this, and I see a building that's really, really well thought and that brings the old in with the new. It kind of takes into the idea, the tradition of Cohasset, and but also the need to adapt and change. And I appreciate so much the integration of what's here with the facilities we have in our other elementary, so our children in Cohasset have a real consistent, real equitable experience. They have spaces that are designed with those same educational innovation ideas in mind, and that's really special and really important. And so I want to thank our partners at ICS and Wold for all of their energy and their work. So thank you. You can wave too. I saw Rochelle Vandenhoevel in the back. You can give a wave. She's trying to hide. Rochelle was the assistant superintendent when these buildings went through design phase and was very involved in the design and ideas behind these spaces too. So just want to acknowledge your work too and your legacy here. Yeah, all right. I'd also like to thank the school board. Building projects are hard, and making decisions about what a district needs, when a district needs new schools and where they should be and what they should look like is really, it's tough, and it involves tough decisions. It involves saying yes some, it involves saying no a lot, and it would have been easy to do to kick this can down the road, to wait for your spot to be done, but you didn't do that. You displayed great leadership, and you did what you needed to do to make sure that our children have what they need and that the communities have what they need to continue to thrive. So I just want to recognize our school board for your leadership and your vision and commitment to seeing this through. So thank you. I do want our site superintendent, Jason is here. Do you want to wave? He's the guy that's here every single day to make sure things are moving. Sean, again, from ICS to his left there. Again, partners from ICS, but really the folks that made this thing happen. So appreciate that. To the rest of our district staff, your support through this process and willingness to get involved in design and help shape this building is really important. And our staff not only work here, but they send their children to school here. They're part of the community. I can speak that from a personal level. My son Owen is going to be here in school this fall, so this is a unique experience for me even to be here and to think about this school being open for him too, and I'm really proud of that. So excited to have him to go to school here. So last thing, all of you as a community, all the red tape and bureaucracy and all that stuff comes to a stop if you don't step up and say yes. And I just appreciate you saying yes for the school and saying yes for this community. You're leaving a legacy, and you left a legacy when you did say yes to support this school here in this community. Our schools are top-notch, this building, and you're going to walk around today and you're going to see some things that aren't quite done yet in some cases. We still have a couple more days, and we're going to use every minute of them. And there's still some cleaning to do, and we're going to use every minute of this weekend to get that done. But you're going to get a feel for a really neat space. It's top-notch, and we want to thank you for that, and we're going to make sure that what happens inside is top-notch as well. So thank you, community. With that, I'll hand it off to our board chair, Mr. Pat Maduri.
Thank you, Matt. Boy, it definitely feels like fall in the air and school starting, right? Isn't it great? Before I jump into some of my comments, I want to introduce our board members. Here tonight with me is Minnie Nuring, David Marty, Molly Miskovich, and Melissa Barr all had some commitments that came up this week. They're unable to be here, but they send their best. And Sue Ziggy's on the mend. She had some surgery done here about a week and a half ago, and she's still at home on the mend, and she sends her best as well. You know, when this whole project started, there was board members that come and gone. And one of them came back from Arizona. Tom Peltier's here tonight. We welcomed him back. He left us here a few months ago, but he wanted to be here for these schools opening up. So Tom, thank you for being here. I also want to recognize Harvey Heidela, Ben Hawkins and Mary Ann Olson. Back when this project started, they were board members coming and going, so to speak. And this project started with Joe Silkman. I know Joe's, there he is here. It started back in 2011, 2012, when he had a study done in regards to our space needs within the district, and primary emphasis was on elementaries. And that was really the impetus that really got us started on where we're at today with remodeling the Cohasset as well as the 2 new elementaries. We've had 5 superintendents that have been through this project, and you know, when I say that, people say, really? Well, that's kind of odd, isn't it? Well, the reality is that's what we had. But the positive side of that is every one of those superintendents brought something to the table that was important to this project. Starting with Joe and ending with Matt. Matt's here opening the schools, but everybody in between. And Bruce Thomas is one of those superintendents, and Bruce is instrumental in getting the facilities task force together that brought community members as well as staff and looking at the issues at hand. We had Joni Olson that took on the second referendum and passed it by 67 votes, and we had Sean Martinson that started as the superintendent that kind of led the construction phase of the project. As we all know, I think it was in November of 2015, we tried to do a referendum and it failed miserably. And I mean miserably. If I recall right, I think it was close to 3-1 failure on it. And part of that referendum meant Cohasset School was going to close. And we heard loud and clear by that vote that the city residents of Cohasset wanted their school to stay. And Mayor Heggie's over there laughing, and I took many calls from him saying, you can't do this, you can't do this. With that being said, Bud Stone from the chamber stepped up, along with Mindy and Kent, and they led a group at the chamber and just reaffirmed that something needed to be done with our elementaries, lack of space. With that came the elementary facilities task force, and again, Kent and Mindy led that task force with many community members, staff members, over 200 and over 2,000 hours in putting a process together, working on a process, and bringing a product to the school board. And part of that product was keeping Cohasset School. With that, a partnership was developed, which Matt alluded to in his comments, working with the city of Cohasset. We upsized the gym to a full-size gym so that this community could utilize that gym in off-school hours. There's also a senior center attached to this, which I think is a great partnership when we can get rid of this COVID and seniors can start interacting with school kids. And with that, there's a child care center built into this. And again, as Matt mentioned, what a great partnership. So again, I want to thank Mayor Heggie, Max Peters kind of led the charge there as city administrator, and the city council for working with the school district and coming together and making this happen. Again, truly a community school here standing behind me. Totally awesome. As you all know, it was in April of 2018 we passed a referendum, 68.9 million, as I said, by 67 votes. Just want to take you back on election night. And myself and Tom Peltier were at the courthouse at the time, and we were told that it failed. And with that, of course, we pass it on to the people that were at kind of the headquarters there, if you will. And as we were sitting there, Mr. Walker came out and said, well, you did it. What do you mean we did it? We were told it failed. Well, there were some numbers got inverted when they reported to Tom and I, some of the people coming in. So we went from a big down to a way high by 67 votes, and it passed. And again, all thank you to you to make that happen. And what a great investment going forward with that. Again, I just want to give a big shout out to Kent and Mindy for their leadership on that facilities task force group. The hours and the time that was spent and the meetings that were spent, we ended up with a great product here at Cohasset as well as the two other new elementaries. Without their help and without their due diligence, I know we wouldn't be where we're at today. So again, my gratitude and my thanks to you for that. And Lisa Lutz, I know Matt said thank you. Lisa, if you weren't at 99.9% of the meetings, you weren't at any of them. And I know every meeting that I was at, you were at, from the onset of the first referendum right on through. So on behalf of the school board, thank you for being the representative you were for Cohasset, as well as the school district itself. Can't say enough about that. There's one other person I want to give a shout out to, and that's Jessica. I'm not sure where she's at out here. She's our there she is back there. She's our communication gal at the school district. She's the one that had the, I'm going to say, opportunity to continue to notify the community, the parents and staff on where we were at through this whole process. She just did a great job in pushing that information out every step of the way. So thank you, Jess, for the work done there. And lastly, as mentioned by Matt, took many people, staff, community, as I said, over 2,000 hours to get where we're at today. And when you think about going back to 2011, it's almost 8.5, 9 years later, here we are standing in Cohasset doing a ribbon cutting for this. And these things don't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of thought and ideas coming forward. And I truly believe we ended up with a great product here that's going to serve our school district and the city of Cohasset and the students here well into the next 50 to 70 years, right? And think about that. The core that was torn down here goes back to 1922, and that core was torn down here kind of right over there and rebuilt here as part of the new project in itself. And I said this comment, and it's something that the school district adopted here a while back about 318 Pride. You have 318 Pride here, and this is great 318 Pride here as well. So we can't thank you enough, and on behalf of the school board, thank you for being part of this great day today. Thank you.
Let's all count. 3, 2, 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Now for the fun part. We're going to begin our tours. They're going to be in groups of 9 people. If you look at the ICS people, please wave. One of them and myself will guide you. So start in groups of 9 and come forward and we'll show you our wonderful school. Thank you so much for coming.
One last person that I need to recognize, Jeff Schiltz. He's got his hands up in the air there in the purple shirt. Jeff Schiltz, kind of a leader from ICS. I just want to recognize him too. He's been a great partner for our school district. So Jeff, thank you very much.